Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of the Prismatic Draft League. Last week we took an unfortunate loss against the Florida Phalanx, and this week we are up against the Halifax Masquerademen, co-coached by Zapugi and Henry. Now Henry has his own YouTube channel that I will link in the description where he's been doing his own coverage of this draft league, as well as watching the replays at the end of every week, or like the end of the next week by the time this is coming out. As well as just regular VGC stuff. Go subscribe. But his team looks very interesting. Well, their team looks very interesting. They've got, where's my mouse? Salamence, Yanma, Tinkaton, Komo-O, Misdreavus, Magmortar, Passimian, Sinistra, Morgrim, Gofarita, and Azumarill. Looking at this team, it is very much a team that wants to get Komo-O set up. You have Gofarita, Sinistra, Magmortar, and Morgrim, all with moves to help the Komo set up, between Fake Out Pressure from Morgrim and Gofarita, to Magmortar, and the Sinistra having redirection options in Follow Me and Rage Powder. Then you have a strong offensive Pokemon in Salamence that could either be your supportive option with Tailwind or just be a Moxie Sweeper on its own. Yanma is also able to set up Tailwind for the team, as well as, I didn't even mention Tinkaton when I was talking about the Pokemon that are able to provide Fake Out Pressure. Then we have Azumarill as a late game sweeper potentially. Go for the Belly Drum while everyone's trying to all your Pokemon are trying to take on the Komo-O. And Misdreavus, I'm not sure what Misdreavus does, but it is a relatively cheap ghost type that is actually a pretty decent special attacker, although it does suffer from Gen 2 stats. Taking a look at their team breakdown, similar to our team, they have a Pokemon that rises above the rest in terms of KOs. Komo-O does most of the heavy lifting for their team, similar to how Crocodile's been doing most of the heavy lifting for my team. However, we do see pockets of stuff like Sinistra being able to pick up KOs despite being a support Pokemon because it has 110 special attack, or 100, or maybe even 120, I don't even remember. It's between 100 and 120 special attack. Then you have, of course, Salamence, bringing a little bit behind. And Azumarill has done a bit of cleanup, but it is pretty death fodder. Magmortar has always been death fodder, along with Sinistra, but Sinistra providing even more support than Magmortar. So how are we going to deal with that? Well, let's look at the team breakdown. And I moved the wrong thing on OBS. There we go. Well, our team is, I'd say, on average faster than their team. So I think Tailwind's going to be pretty apparent that they're going to try and do. However, most weeks they lead off with either just straight off leading with the Komo-O, next to Magmortar or Tinkaton, with Sinistra and Azumarill in the back. Sometimes Salamence, sometimes Azumarill. I think this week is a possibility that I do bring Morgrim. Sure, not mainly because it provides redirection support, but because my team, I think, is very good at being able to ignore redirection, right? You have Crocodile with the Earthquakes, you got Gardevoir with Dazzling Gleam, Klefki with Dazzling Gleam. If I wanted to do Icy Wind on Krog and all, I could. Kilowattrel can spread, well, Kilowattrel stuff. Even if you redirect Kilowattrel, it's going to hurt a lot with that coming off that 125 special attack. So, I don't think Henry is going to try and, as hard as in previous weeks, commit to using redirection as his main way of stopping me from getting to the Komo-O. Because Komo-O is the backbone of this team, right? It is what gets the KOs at the end of the day. Everything's built to support it. I think Passimian shows up. Now, spoiler alert. I'm sorry. Sorry, Henry and Zapugi, if you're watching this back. I am not bringing any Intimidate this week, because I remember watching in Henry's Team Builder that they picked up Passimian because of all the Intimidators going around, especially the Intimidators on my team. So I'm not bringing any Intimidates this week. I don't want to give Passimian a free Defiant boost. But looking at this team as well, we got some pretty Pretty apparent weaknesses in some areas, though. I can probably move this back now. Actually, no, not yet. I still need to go over the speed tiers we need to break down. A pretty glaring flying weakness. Now, granted, there's not a lot of Pokemon that get good flying stab in this league. You got Braviary with Sky Attack and the Mental Herb. But then you have a few Hurricane Pokemon and, like, Pelipper. Pelipper's really the only reliable Pokemon with Hurricane. Because Kilowattrel has Hurricane, but I need to set up Rain for it, and I don't have an automatic Rain setter, so I need to be manual Rain setter with Klefki in order to have Rain. So my best option is Air Slash if I don't want to miss. We also have a pretty big Fairy weakness on the team as well. You got, glaring issue, you have two Pseudos, and both of them are Dragon types, both weak to Fairy. Simeon, your Defiant and your Intimidate answer is weak to Fairy, and then Morgrim, of course, is weak to Fairy as well. Very good into ground types, though. 3 immunities, and 1 resist. We're still bringing Crocodile anyway, because Crocodile has, I think, our best shot into Como-O, but I'll explain that in a bit. Then you got 3 ground rock weaknesses, but it's Yama, who cares? I'd say this team is very well built around Como-O, but a few glaring type weaknesses that I think we could take advantage of. Granted, we're not looking so good ourselves. His main attacker is a fighting type, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weaknesses to fighting that he can take advantage of. We've also got 4 weaknesses to fire that he can take advantage of. And 5 weaknesses to rock that he can take advantage of. He doesn't have a rock-type Pokemon on his team, but he could bring like something like Terra Blast or Rock Slide. I mean, like, the Salamence could use Rock Slide. I think Salamence gets Rock Slide? I think it does. Or something like, I don't know. Tinkaton with Ancient Power? Who knows? With that in mind, let's get to the team. Oh wait, hold on. I just remembered. We are looking to beat 167 speed on our fast Pokemon, and 150, 148 speed with our not as fast Pokemon. And I'll explain why 149 instead of 150 in just a moment with our first Pokemon. Am I right in my spot? I did. Okay. First up, we have Crocodile, not running a choice item. I know. New year, new me, and you know the fact that we're 2 weeks into the new year. But we are Mirror Herb, Terra Ghost, Moxie, Earthquake, Knockoff, High Horsepower, Protect. Now, you might wonder, why did I mention 149 speed? Well, we are EVing Crocodile to be slightly slower than max speed timid Como-O. I could have gone a little slower, but I still wanted to be faster than McMortar, just in case. And we have Mirror Herb. So the idea with Crocodile this week is we lead with it, pairing with another Pokemon that we'll be talking about shortly, and pressure the KO onto Como-O. Because Como-O's most reliable Terra types to get out of its quad fairy resist are Fire and Steel. 2 types that are weak to Crocodile. Extremely weak to Crocodile. So with the Mirror Herb, with us being slightly slower than Max B Como-O, he can go for the Clangorous Scales, get his boosts. We copy those boosts. If it tears to Fire or Steel to get away from Gardevoir, we kill it with an Earthquake. Or, if you want to play it safer, we could go for a knockoff. No, we couldn't go for a knockoff because Clangorous Soul... No, Clangorous Souls isn't boosted by... doesn't boost Throat Spray. It's Clangorous Scales that'll boost Throat Spray. So we do have an opportunity to still stop the Throat Spray. But of course, we got High Horsepower as our neutral ground move, Knockoff as our neutral dark move, and Earthquake for the spread plan. Next up, we have Kilowattrel with Terra Grass, Focus Sash, Competitive Assault, Assault Vest. Air Slash, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Protect. With once again, a speed that will just outspeed Salamence. Max special attack, and a little bit of bulk. We don't need more speed than this, because even if Henry ends up running a Choice Scarf Pokemon, that doesn't end up meaning much to us, because even if we were max speed, we won't outspeed that Choice Scarf Pokemon, because both teams are on the faster side. So I put that stuff into bulk, because why not? There's always a chance that he somehow only would 2-hit kill Wattrel instead of bringing it down to Focus Sash. We have Terra Grass to avoid Rage Powder. Pretty simple on that front. Air Slash to handle the Sinistcha, Thunderbolt to handle the Azumarill. But also, I do want a Flying Stab option this time, because common defensive Terra for something like a Azumarill is Terra Grass, so I do want Flying Stab this week. No Tailwind this week, and part of that is because I don't want to catch myself, like, looking back at the footage from last week, especially game 3, I made a major misplay in going for the Tailwind and then just being very hesitant to play off that. So I want to remove the option of Tailwind at all. I trust in my team's speed. I don't want to second guess and go for Tailwind. That bites me in the ass, but what can you do there? You can only prep for so much. Protect, just to stall out a turn. And Thunder Wave, to spread Paralysis. Because we do have Klefki this week, but I do want a secondary Paralysis spreader, because Klefki is the obvious one, right? Next up, we have a Choice Scarf Gardevoir. Terra Steel, Telepathy, Dazzling Gleam, Trick, Moonblast, and Psychic. Max special attack. At Choice Scarf, we only need 112 speed to outspeed the Salamence. So I put the rest into bulk to make Gardevoir a little harder to kill while it's throwing off those Moonblasts and Psychics and Dazzling Gleams. So what I was mentioning earlier with the Crocodile is that if we lead Crocodile Gardevoir and Henry leads Como-O and maybe Tinkaton or Magmortar or even Sinistcha, but Sinistcha almost always is in the back, he is forced to either Terra yeah, he's forced to Terra. Hello everyone, Editing Trico here to spare you from this just atrocious rant that goes nowhere. Maybe this is an example on why I should script these team breakdowns, but whatever. The point of having Terra Ghost on Gardevoir is defensive based, with Terra Ghost on Crocodile to avoid Fake Out and Body Press. However, I'm expecting Gardevoir to be the Fake Out target, so why not Terra Ghost on Gardevoir? Well, the point of that is to force Como-O into a more predictable position that gets me the Mirror Herb activation. If Gardevoir is the better fake-out target, Como-O is more likely to not Terra in case it's a Terra type that is weak to Crocodile, in the off chance that this isn't max speed Como-O. This way, I guarantee that Como-O lives long enough for Crocodile to get the Mirror Herb activation. Next up, we have Terra Fairy Arcanine with Safety Goggles, Rock Head, Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Rock Slide, and Psychic Fangs. We are just faster than Como-O with Arcanine. This is one of the Pokemon that I do want to be faster than the Como-O. And hit it with the Psychic Fangs. I'm going to hit it with a Psychic Fangs. I might as well give it Extreme Speed. That way I can wear it down a bit. We don't need Head Smash, and in fact I think Head Smash is going to cost us more than it would gain for us. And we're Terra Fairy for a bit of defensive, max attack, and the remaining EVs went into HP. Next up we have Cryogonal with a Chople Berry, Terra Ice, Freeze Dry, Ice Beam, Reflect, and Light Screen, with 168 speed to just outspeed the Salamence, 252 special attack, 36 HP. Not a Pokemon I'm expecting to have to bring, but once again, this is part of me trying to keep rolls off Klefki this week. We're giving Cryogonal the screen's reliance because I don't want to have to be relying on a Cryogonal Terra. So we're just going with Freeze, Triai, and Ice Beam, and giving it dual screens so we can have its screens options. With a Chople Berry to resist the fighting type attacks to keep it alive, since the Sash is on Kilowattrel. Last up, we have Klefki. And Klefki, we're being a bit more experimental with. We have Toxic Orb, Switcheroo, Playra, Thunderwave, Steel Beam, Max HP, Max Defense. The idea with Klefki is to put his team on a timer. Something that the rest of my team is very hard at doing. Because, like, yes, the Sinistра is able to switch in, right? To heal up its partner. But the Toxic is permanent. I don't think he's going to bring any way to remove status this week. I don't think he even has anything that can remove... Well, he could bring a berry, but he'd most likely be bringing something like a... Well, I mean, he could bring a Lumberry. But the point is, I don't plan on using Klefki. Like, if you look at Cryogonal and Klefki, these two are the Pokemon I put the least amount of thought into and wanted to be a little more experimental. Because I think Crocodile, Kilowattrel, Gardevoir, and Arcanine can do this without the help of Cryogonal and Klefki. At least how it looks like on paper. Of course, we can bring Cryogonal in if we think that they're relying more on Azumarill after Game 1. And Klefki we can always bring as a last-ditch effort in Game 3 to slow things down a bit. Because the Henry and Zapugi's team, it likes to play slow. It wants to get its boosts up, it wants to snowball from there, but it's very slow to get going. And I think our 4 attackers this week are very good at just breaking through a wall before it can get set up. Of course, that didn't happen in week 1 or week 4, but you can only do so much against body press, right? This team is not set up to take on body press, unfortunately, and that's something I have to come up with how to deal with if we get to playoffs. But anyways, I thank you all for watching, and I will see you when we get into the match. Peace. And here we are, and we do see the Morgrem. Interesting. Okay. This was the team lineup I was expecting, so... props there. What else do we see here? We have 2 fake out uses in Tinkaton and Morgrem. With those being your support, that's most likely a Bellyjarm Azumarill. I think we just stick with the plan. We lead with Crocodile Gardevoir, and we have Kilowattrel and Arcanine Hisui in the back. Who the hell was Pet the dog? Ugh. What can we gain from here? I don't want to Terra Crocodile just yet. You know, I should, just in case he doesn't go for the... Okay. Okay. Morgrem down. Sinistra Masterpieces in. No reason not to go for the Earthquake here. Okay, good. Glasses Tinkaton can't fake out Crocodile, and it can't stop the can't stop Crocodile with fake out. Is it Life Dew? Gigaton Hammer, okay. It is Life Dew. How much does... The tequila takes 31%. So we should be able to take on the Sinistra, no problem. Yep. No reason to reveal that we brought Kilowatts for this game. And the Flare Blitz does take it out very well. Okay. What do we learn? What do we learn? What do we learn? Yeah, so it is Clanger Scales. And it's Terra Fairy. Do we lead the same? I don't think we do. Do we, though? Do we bring Arcanine in first? I think we want to bring Arcanine in first. We bring Arcanine in with Gardevoir. We just change up the order. So it screens Morgrem. It is Life Dew on there. I'm gonna Rock Slide. Do I Terra Steel Gardevoir? I don't think I need the Terra Ghost on Crocodile. Okay. Azumarill comes in now. Yeah, I think we just extreme speed fodder now with Arcanine. Arcanine, I think, did its job. It got rid of the Salamence, which would be our biggest threat. It's helping hand boosted. That did nothing. And we got it to eat its Citrus Berry already. We're just gonna extreme speed again. I am not saving either of these Pokemon. And so Sinistcha comes in. Makes sense. It's gonna Aqua Jet into... what? Gardevoir? Arcanine. Makes sense. Now, it can't do the thing. You're going to protect here on the Kilowattrel, and just Dazzling Gleam. And we let Gardevoir go down, but that's fine. We Air Cutter and protect. Yep, okay. Perfect. We go for an Earthquake here on the Crocodile. Azumarill lives on a Sliver, we get the Moxie boost, and it misses the Play Rough, unfortunate. But we take the easy 2-0 victory with a Thunderbolt. And we live the Aqua Jet anyway, so we're fine. GG's! Whew. So we had a very strong adaptation going into Game 2. Like, we saw that the Gardevoir and the Crocodile paired up well, but honestly, the Gardevoir did more in that pair than the Crocodile, so the Crocodile was the easier thing to swap out. Then we had the Arcanine, which is able to do good damage into the Salamence, remove it from the field to prevent it from being a threat, and keeping Kilowattrel in the back to take on potential Terra Waters and the Azumarill. We were also able to remove the Citrus Berry from just spamming it down with the Extreme Speed, because I was confident in Kilowattrel and Crook being able to clean up from the back. We didn't really need Arcanine or Gardevoir for that endgame. Anyways, I thank you all for watching this week. Go ahead and go over to Henry's channel. Link will be down in the description. Please go check him out. He does way better content than I do. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.